Hello friends, I am Sunil Ranjan, and my dear friends, in this session I am gonna speak on how to accomplish your goal. Means how to achieve your goal. And when you set yourself towards achieving your goal, there are certain elements that decide whether you will be able to achieve your goal in a short time or in a long time. So, my dear, first you have to think of what you dream about, because, my dear, dream is very necessary. Unless you nurture a dream, you will not get about something. So, dream is the feeling that you have to achieve something. It is not daydreaming or night dreaming, but it is planning about your life. So, it is important to dream what you want to do, what you want to become in life, because that is the first step that is necessary, and it happens very well in your mind. So, you have to make an action plan, for then only you will be able to get on the track to achieve success in life. Now, when you have dream, the second element that gets into picture here is self-esteem. Self-esteem means self-respect. Unless you respect yourself, you will not be able to respect others. Those who don't respect others, normally they don't respect themselves also. This has a deeper meaning. So when you think about it, you will realize how important it is to respect oneself. Because when you respect oneself, then only you plan to go higher in life. So, first you have to make a decision. What do you want to do in life? Unless you decide what you want to do in life, it's not possible to go ahead. So, first is decision. You decide what you want to do in life. Unless you decide, you will be off the track. You will be just moving around here and there, doing nothing, making excuses, and all these things. So, you have to decide what you want to do. And the second thing, when you take a decision, you have to see how realistic that decision is. Whether it is possible for you to achieve whatever you are planning or whatever you are deciding. So, you have to be very careful. And you have to be very realistic when you are trying to make a decision. So, my dear, it is important to be realistic when you are trying to take some decision about your life and how far it suits your personality, because that must go with your personality, and that is the best moment when you are able to achieve something that you dreamt earlier. Now, so the first point is decision making. So you have to decide, and you can note it down on a piece of paper, because whenever you look at that piece of paper, that will act as a reminder to you about your decision that you have made. The next point is you must ask why. Suppose you want to become a guitarist. Why do you want to become a guitarist? What will happen? What recognition will you get? Or if you want to become a doctor. So just earning or making money is not enough, but it must go with your personality. Why? And why is a very important question in life that is going to decide your plan of action in future. So whatever you do, why? When why is there on your mind, then you are able to do that thing more systematically, more technically, or you can say more professionally. And then you are able to show your excellence in that plan of action when you are on doing something. So you will be able to feel that yes, you chose the right track and that was the fittest track for you. Next one is you have to see whether it is possible or not. Well, we may dream so many things, we may dream great things. Of course, every time there is some idea running in our mind, but we have to see whether whatever we are trying to do or we have planned to take up, whether that is realistic or not. one idea may be realistic for one person, but it is not necessary that the same idea may run true for the other person. So you have to base it on reality. You have to see the circumstances around you. You have to see your background. You have to see your ability. Or you have to time whatever you are planning to do, whether it is possible for you to achieve within a given time or not. So my dear friend, it is important to be realistic about whatever you have chosen or you are planning to do. Next is, when you think about many ideas, then first you have to brainstorm, because brainstorm refers to a process when so many ideas come to your mind, and without any bias or prejudice, just write those ideas freely. And when you note down all the ideas, then you think which idea is suitable for you. So then begins the selection and the rejection process. And when there is selection and rejection process, finally you come up with 2 or 3 alternatives, and then you have to decide which alternative is suitable for you. So my dear, it is important to brainstorm. Just one idea is not enough. Maybe your friend suggests you some other idea, maybe you get 3 or 4 more ideas, or maybe you get more than 10 ideas. So you have to sit and decide what to select, what to reject, what matches with your personality, what fails to come up to your expectations. So my dear, brainstorming is a very important process. It is a process of selection and rejection. First you get a number of ideas, and then the process of selection and rejection begins. Next point, my dear, is you have to get specific. Unless you are specific, you don't develop your concentration on a particular thing. So you have to specify what you are going to focus upon. So when you are specific, you have a clear-cut idea what you are going to do and what you require to achieve that. So when you are specific, you become very practical also. So, and you stay focused on your goal, and then you are moving on the tracks quite smoothly. So be specific, whatever you choose to do, but once you have decided, my dear, be specific. The next is, you have to consider the SMART method. There is a method called SMART method, and SMART, S-M-A-R-T, of course, and every letter in the word stands for a particular word. S, the first letter is S, and S stands for specific, means the particular thing. So you have to be specific, as I mentioned earlier. The next letter is M. M is measurable, whether you can measure how far it has gone or how far it can be taken. So you have to measure on whatever you have done. You have to measure how well you have done so far. So it must be measurable. So S stands for specific. Measurable has the letter M. So M stands for measurable. And the third one is achievable. Of course, we can say, if you have a solid determination, if you have dedication, if you have the fire in you, you can achieve bloody anything in this world. But yes, my dear, it is important to remember that whether it is achievable or not. Because if it is achievable for you, you are feeling very happy, you get on the track and it's easy for you. But if it fails to come up to your expectations, or maybe you don't have the quality to achieve that, that becomes a headache, my dear, headache. So it is important to think whether that is achievable or not. And now we have the next letter, S-M-A-R. R is for relevant. So you have to check whether it is relevant to your plan of action or not. So you have to reject what is not relevant. So you have to be very relevant. You have to see what factors are really necessary in your plan of action. So you have to be very relevant about whatever you have chosen to do. And So R stands for relevant. And smart, the last letter is T. And T is for time bound. How long are you going to achieve that? Because time passes, and my dear, time has no U-turn. A railway traffic or a bus traffic, the roads are there and there is U-turn. You may turn. So in traffic rules, there are roads and you can have U-turn. But my dear, life does not have U-turn. You can move ahead, but you cannot go back. You cannot come back. Maybe you imagine, you recall certain memories, then you can take U-turn, but physically it is not possible to go back in time. So you have to time whatever you have decided to do, whether you are taking 1 month, 1 year, 1 week, or whatever you plan to. So it is important to have the time frame in your mind. How long are you going to achieve something? So when you set time for everything, your method becomes very scientific. So you can't just be taken for granted, because you have a specific plan of action and you have timed it well enough that within a certain time you are going to achieve that. So my dear, S-M-A-R-T, smart. So T stands for time frame. So that was the SMART method. And the next point is the obstacles. My dear, anything that comes very easily normally does not have much quality. And when you have to work hard for something, it's very tough, then the quality is there. A very straight fact, my dear. When the quality is there, then you have to work hard for that. And anything that you achieve very easily, maybe you are very smart at doing things, but something that comes very easily normally does not have the quality. So be willing to work hard for whatever you want to achieve. So there are obstacles. And of course, when you are going in a certain direction, so there may be obstacles, but you have to take obstacles as challenges. Because once you overcome those obstacles, you get more confident about moving ahead, and that is a booster for you. So you feel more energetic, because the happiness comes from the victory. Victory, the sense of victory that comes to you after overcoming a certain problem. So problems are challenges, my dear. Accept the problems and move ahead dynamically. So that is very important for you. So you have to identify the obstacles that come your way. And next point, my dear, is make a routine. Unless you make a routine, it's not possible to move far ahead. So you have to make a routine for whatever you want to do. Make an action plan and do it in a routine manner. Sometimes it may feel monotonous, sometimes it may feel boring, but you don't have to stop there. You have to have a routine, and then things go systematically. And then you have to track your progress. Tracking the progress means how far you have moved in a particular direction. So tracking the progress is very necessary, because then you are able to realize how well you have done so far. And the next thing is the negative factors. Get away from the negative factors that disturb you. Because if you get one negative idea, then more negative ideas begin to come. So you have to be away from the negative ideas, because that may disturb your plan of action, or that may disturb your adventurous journey through life. And the last word, there was a philosopher, Lao Tzu, a Chinese philosopher, and he very well said, a journey of 1,000 miles. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So first step is to be taken, because it is the first step that gets you ready for the 1,000 steps that you take ahead and then achieve your goal. So this is for today, and thank you until we meet again. Thank you.